You're at a peaceful farmer's market, celebrating your daughter's birthday, when suddenly, a group of church women ambush her, calling her sinful, selfish, and unchristian for not loving her dead father's affair babies. What do? If you're like me, you fight fire with holy hell. And what I did next? Let's just say my ex-mother-in-law will never forget the day she picked the wrong Christian mom to mess with. If you've ever been blamed for someone else's mistakes, if you've ever been forced to smile through family drama, or if you've ever dreamed of watching karma serve justice with a choir singing in the background, hit that like button, subscribe, and buckle up, because this is one revenge story you won't forget. After 18 years of marriage, I thought I'd seen it all. But nothing could prepare me for what happened after my husband died. I'm 46, a single mom to two strong, beautiful daughters, 17 and 15. Our life wasn't perfect, but it was ours. Until last year, when everything shattered. My ex-husband died suddenly in a car accident. Sounds tragic, right? But death didn't wipe the slate clean. It uncovered the rot he left behind. An affair, 2 secret baby boys, and the woman he cheated with. Also gone in the same crash. My daughters were the ones who found out about his betrayal. They'd seen the messages, the photos, the double life he lived. So no, my girls didn't want anything to do with the poor orphan baby brothers his parents kept trying to force into their lives. Trauma isn't fixed with guilt trips. And it definitely isn't healed by being gaslit into playing big sister to the children of their father's affair. But that didn't stop my ex-in-laws. After the funeral, they came at us hard. First, they tried to move into our home, yes, seriously. Then, they tried taking my daughters to court, claiming I was alienating them. Thankfully, the court date's pending. But what really pushed me over the edge happened at the local weekend market. It was my youngest's birthday. Instead of a party, she wanted to spend the morning shopping freely, picking out chocolates, snacks, and little gifts. I gave her a budget, smiled, and let her explore. It was one of the rare mornings that felt normal. Until I got the call. She was crying, terrified. "Mom, some old women are yelling at me. I don't know them, but they said horrible things." Ran. My oldest daughter ran with me. And when we found her, 6 older women had her backed against a flower stand, berating her like a pack of self-righteous vultures. They called her unchristian, selfish, cruel. Said she was a bad daughter for not spending time with her grieving grandparents. Accused her of being heartless for ignoring her baby brothers. She was shaking. My hands curled into fists. I stepped in front of her. My voice was calm, but my blood was boiling. "Go pay for what she picked, get to the car," I told my eldest. Then I turned to those women. The same women who once sang hymns beside me in the same church my ex-in-laws dragged us to over the years. They told me I was a disgrace. That I had failed my husband. That I should have forgiven him. A good Christian wife obeys her husband and her elders. I nearly laughed. "You mean obey a man who lied, cheated, and left his children broken?" I didn't back down. I matched their volume. The shouting got loud enough that the market staff asked us to leave. But it wasn't over. As we left, those women followed us. Like predators, whispering behind us, judging us. One even called my daughter damaged. We got in the car. I held the wheel tighter than I should have. But I smiled at my girls and said, "This ends now." That night, after they were asleep, I did some digging. I reached out to a friend, someone still in that church. What he told me left me stunned and furious. My ex-mother-in-law had posted a sob story in the church's Facebook group. She said we left her homeless and penniless, ignoring the fact that my daughters inherited their father's accounts and life insurance. She claimed we refused to care for her. And worst of all, accused us of abandoning the poor orphan boys. But here's the kicker, she lied about the affair. Claimed the other woman was a surrogate. Surrogate. Said I rejected the children because they were boys. It was disgusting, twisted, but also stupid. Because that church, while problematic in many ways, it hates cheating. Big no-no. Adultery is like setting fire to the Bible in front of the choir. And she had built her entire lie on a foundation of deceit. Oh, I decided it was time for some divine intervention. The next day I took a personal day. Drove straight to a print shop with my laptop in hand. And what did I have? Photos of my ex and his side chick making out in our home. Text messages. Dozens of them. Raunchy, damning, time-stamped. Messages between him and his parents, bragging about the affair. Screenshots of his parents harassing me, calling me selfish for wanting a divorce. And worst of all, the messages they sent to my daughters after his death, calling them bastards, blaming them for his death. One of them said, "If you hadn't told your mother, he'd still be alive." I spared no expense. High-quality prints, glossy paper, clear, undeniable. And I made binders, custom, clean. I modeled them after the church's hymn booklets. Same colors, same size, except on the cover, in gold lettering. The true story behind ex-husband's name is Fall from Grace. Inside, a photo of him and his affair partner on our living room couch. Faces clear as day. Caption underneath: "Their forbidden love, blessed by lies." Each binder told the full story. Pictures, texts, timelines. All curated. All undeniable. I even used churchy fonts to really drive it home. I drove to the church the next Sunday, early. Quiet. I placed the binders among the hymnals near the back, where they never check. Then I walked out. By noon, the gossip had already ignited. The church group page went wild. People were furious. The same women who harassed my daughter were suddenly very quiet. The names thrown at my ex and his mistress. Brutal. Even the pastor had to jump in and ask people to keep discourse Christ-like. But what warmed my heart the most were the 2 apology letters addressed to my daughters. Handwritten, sincere. One even included an invitation to join the youth support group. As for my ex-in-laws, cast out. My ex-mill wrote a Facebook post days later. "No one cares for the elderly anymore. My son would have protected us." Ma'am, with what? His lies. His dead-end job. I was the breadwinner. She wanted to play the victim. She ended up exposed as the architect of her own misery. You want to guilt-trip grieving teenage girls. Weaponize religion. Try to control the narrative. Then don't be surprised when the truth hits harder than any sermon you've ever preached. Because this wasn't just revenge. This was justice. For me. For my daughters. And for every woman who's ever been told to stay silent, to keep the peace. Sometimes the truth needs a choir. Sometimes it needs glossy paper and a little dramatic flair. But most of all, needs to be heard. If that story hit home, if you believe justice should always come with a mic drop, smash that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more real revenge stories that prove one thing: never underestimate a mother with receipts.